Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. I don't know how many times I've said that, and I think we're up to almost 490 shows over the last 18-plus years. Hard to believe that I've been around that long. Of course, I've been around longer, but...
I'm not saying anything.
I'm not saying anything about Ron.
We're not talking about age.
No.
We're having a good time.
Yeah, y'all recognize that voice.
Life is good.
Yeah, you recognize that voice. He's in quarantine at his house, if you want to believe that. But we are in quarantine.
Yes, I am this morning, but I am going out on the water.
I wonder.
There will be no one with me.
Okay. All right. That's really social distance. I suggest you take your boat. Okay, so, but anyway.
Well, my boat will be with me.
Okay, and your life jacket. So, hey, let's switch from Canada to Wisconsin to Minnesota. Let's go to some place that everybody knows and loves.
Let's go north of Memphis.
Yeah, let's go north of Memphis and to almost the line up there where the weather this week has been unbelievable. The water blowing into Blue Bank Resort and all the great things that Mike Hayes is doing up there. And Ron said, let's talk a little crappie fishing, but let's also talk about a guy that knows that lake as well as anybody else, and that's Tim Blackley out of Hornbeak, Tennessee. Good morning, Tim.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, we're doing better now that you're on the line with us, buddy. Let's
Cool.
life on Real Foot. How's it been lately?
Man, Real Foot has made a dramatic turnaround as far as crappie fishing as years past. Been catching some really, really good fish, good size, and the numbers have been pretty good. So really excited about that, seeing Real Foot doing a lot better, a lot healthier fish. So hopefully we're back on the upswing at Real Foot.
Well, Ron, I know you wanted to get in there with Tim because we're kind of in a quarantine, crazy times, Tim, for all of us, especially you guys who are on the circuits and have to do these things. So Ron wanted to make sure, and then Ron will step in and ask you a real in-depth, real deep question about.
No, nothing deep.
Nothing deep.
Nothing deep.
Talk about preparing for the upcoming tournaments. Ron had mentioned that. How's this situation worked out for you?
Well, we started out. I did get to fish one tournament, Crappie Masters on Lake D'Arbonne in Louisiana.
Uh-huh. Ooh, I love to say that. Did you hear that, Ronnie said Lake D'Arbonne? Yeah. We love to say Lake D'Arbonne here on Outdoors with Larry Ray. So you got that one in, and then
that was it. They shut it down, and we've just kind of been hanging in limbo. Have been able to travel to some places before the quarantine got really, stay-at-home order, and got to fish some new lakes in southern Arkansas and Texas, and really enjoyed my time, really not having to worry about tournaments, but just enjoying fishing. And there are absolutely some great lakes with low pressure on them. You just got to seek them out. And there's a lake, I don't want to call what it is, but it's southern Arkansas that we fished an 8-hour day and had 12 fish over 2 pounds.
Oh,
and
wow.
30 fish, probably a pound and a half range.
Come on, I'm from Arkansas. I'm from Arkansas, Tim. Come on, Tim. You're egging me on here now. We just lost about 5 listeners heading out to South Arkansas right now.
Yeah, they're going to be hunting around.
Yeah, they're going to be hunting around saying, where's this guy named Tim? What's he talking about here? So
there's some awesome lakes. Our fishing, because of this new technology, or my fishing has totally changed.
Yeah.
I'm back to holding one pole in my hand, and I haven't had a set of spider fishing poles out in front of me all year long.
Wow,
Yeah,
did you hear this?
I would say that.
This is the man that's spider rigging. That was your favorite, I understand. I thought that was it.
That was it. That was all I ever done. But
it is all live scoping now. And Tim, tell our listeners about the rod that you use.
Yeah, tell us.
The stick.
The stick. Yeah.
It's changed, especially tournament fishing. I saw last year that if you were going to be able to compete, at that category, you're going to have to learn to use it. So I set my mind to it. I put my trolling poles up, and B&M and some of the pro staff guys that developed a 13-foot. It's called the B&M stick.
The stick.
And all those 2-pound fish I was talking about, you don't need a net. You just swing them over the side of the boat. And swung 2.5-pound fish over the side of the boat with
Come
it.
on.
I know several people that's put 3-pounders in the boat without a net.
Without a net.
Yep.
So you've ruined the net industry. Now we've come up with this stick that can actually.
The B&M stick.
I've heard so much about it and everything like that, and so we got a guy on with Tim Blackley right now talking about it. Mr. Spider Rigger, growing up, is now a one-pole man with a stick.
One-pole man.
Yeah, well, my daddy used to get a stick after me a whole lot, and he used to throw me overboard with those things.
I've had one on my backside, too. So.
Yeah, you've been there, too. Yeah.
Just a little bit of different kind of stick than what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about this stick then. Ron has brought it up. I'm interested in 13 feet. Talk about it.
It is 13 foot. It's a graphite, similar to a lot of your high-end bass poles. Just a little bit longer, gives you a little bit further reach out in front. We've learned so much about how crappie behave by having this live scope and being able to see them in real time.
Amazing.
We're being able to know that these fish, when the days you go fishing and you say they're not biting, well, most of the time they're running from your boat or from noise before you get to them.
Yeah.
So, there's where the longer, 13-foot rod come into play. But
right.
It's
Tim.
Yes.
What do you use? What kind of baits are you using? You're single poling, and you're looking at those fish, and you're playing this video game, really. What are you using? What do you recommend using?
Yeah.
Well, if you're in real muddy water, I've always I've learned from some of the other guys that braid shows up better on the live scope where you can keep up with your bait better. So I'm using braid about 10 to 15 pounds, and I'm using if it's real windy, I'll use a double jig tied to my main line.
Yeah.
Maybe a quarter on the bottom and an eighth on top. If it's not windy and you're not having to deal with waves, just a straight up 1/8-ounce jig with I like a joker. Strike King jokers work.
There you go.
Spider rigging and it works. Single poling also. Now, if they're back when it was cold and they were really finicky, you might have to downsize and we'd go down to like a shed pole size deal that didn't displace a lot of water.
Well, let me ask you. I know I can remember back. We've had Tim on several times, and you always talked about your granddad, Tim. And I think you remember he told me he lived to be 100 or something along that line. The Depression and the wars and everything. What would he think about? What would he think about your technology today?
Well, it's I'm sure he would be as amazed as I am. Who would ever thought that you would be able to target one crappie that you see on the screen?
Amazing.
And if you don't catch him by a tree, you follow him to where he stops, and then you catch him. That's how far we've gotten. We can tell whether it's a pound fish or a 3-pound fish, and if it's something it looks real large, and it's for sure. You might chase a fish 100 or 200 yards.
Golly.
He'll eventually stop.
Yeah.
And my experience, if you can get him to stop on a tree or a stick or something, he's really out to bite.
Well, listen.
Right.
We're talking to Tim Blackley up Hornbeak, Tennessee, on a Real Foot Lake, and really giving good information.
Tim, they're getting ready to. I think the word is out that American Crappie Trail is going to have their championship coming up here early May. Are you getting prepared for it?
Yeah, early June. Gonna be
early June. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ron's stuck on May. He loves May.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're all missed about a month in April.
Well, I can't tell you what day of the week it is a lot of times, Tim. So it's
I get like that too.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that.
Stardust ACT Championship.
Yes.
June 3rd, I think 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's going to be a great time at Stardust. It's a great time to be at that lake.
Yeah.
The lake will be settled down. It'll be clearing up. Fish is spawned, and they're getting moved back to Main Lake. And it'd be an awesome tournament, awesome event to come watch.
I think we're going to have Matt on in a couple of weeks. Is that right, Ron? Next time you're with us, we're going to try to get Matt Morgan on with us, aren't we?
Yeah.
See if we can hook up with Matt and talk about that. And Matt just had a birthday, bless his heart. Happy birthday, Matt, out there. But
and Tim just had a birthday.
Yeah, Ron, would you just slow down, Ron? You jump ahead of me, you know. Tim is 29 again, right, Tim?
29.
29 again. How many times can you be 29, Tim? We want to know that and everything.
It's been about 33 times now, I think.
Well, before we let you go, so Real Foot right now, this time we got a couple of minutes here. So talk about folks that may want to come up to Real Foot now that we've got our social distancing and everything like that. Talk about what you say it's the crappie fishing has really improved. Talk about that for the last couple of minutes here.
Crappie fishing, has been really good. We've been seeing a lot of good numbers, 20s and 30s, and seeing some 2.5 pound fish come in.
Really? Okay.
Not every day, but there are the size is a lot better. And of course, June for Real Foot is bluegill season.
Yes,
so
it is.
We got that to look forward to, and there's a lot of folks coming to visit Real Foot. I see a lot of people that since it's kind of started easing up a little bit, a lot of people coming to visit.
Good.
Boat ramps are full, and everybody's enjoying the lake.
Well, we appreciate you, Tim, being on with us this morning. Thanks, Ron, for setting up, Tim. Always good to talk to you, Tim. And
yes, sir. Thank you.
We wish you nothing but success this season on the American Crappie Trail, and I'm sure Mr. Wong will be down there at Sardis spotting everybody out. Okay. All right, Tim, thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you down the road, all right?
Thank you. Good to talk to you.
All right. Okay, Ron, let's take a break. Come right back, and if everything works right, we're going to talk to how about the Toyota Angler of the Year last year? I kind of like talking that. And how about a guy that just won a fishing trip with him? So
that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
And our angler is of course he's fresh off of a big tournament himself that he fished in Alabama, the Bassmaster Classic. And so, good stuff.
Let's see if we can hook up with that if everything goes right. All right, Shelby, take us out of here. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.